My name is Raju. I have committed many big sins in my life, but the biggest sin I committed was that I used to make innocent and young children beg. I knew that I was doing a very wrong thing, but I had no other work. I used to earn a good income from this work. One day I was passing by the road, and I found a little girl standing there. There were tears in her eyes, but this was not the first time. I used to see that girl standing there on that road every day for a week. Even today, I was looking at that girl. She was a small girl and was not so beautiful, but she always used to get some use in my work. So I called her to me and asked her, "Why do you stand here every day?" That girl did not say anything. Then I asked her, "Where are your parents?" Even then, she did not answer. I asked her, "Where have you come from? Where is your house?" But even then, that girl did not say anything. She just stood there silently. Maybe she was dumb and could not say anything. I told her that you are alone in this world. Then she nodded her head, indicating yes. Perhaps she had no one of her own in this world, so I became very happy because I was looking for such children. I brought her to my house and fed her dinner, after which she slept peacefully. As soon as it was morning, I told her to get up early and start her work. I felt that she was looking at me with strange eyes, but was thinking something else. But she did not respond to my words. From this, I had a firm idea that she could not speak. But I did not feel any pity for her. I too could not raise her by sitting here. I said, "Have I brought you here to eat free bread? Or do I have a hobby of raising children? It is a simple thing. If you want to eat here, then you have to work. If you work well, I will give you a lot of money, and you will also get a place to stay here, along with food. But remember to go out with the same face." The way she was looking at me, there was surprise in her eyes and sadness on her face. I woke up the rest of the children too and started saying that all the children get up and start working. Actually, I used to make small children beg. I was not a bad man. I used to feed them, buy clothes for them, and take them for outings on festivals. Anyway, they were orphan children who had no one to look after them. I had not kidnapped them from anywhere. I got these children in the same way as I got this girl today, whose name was Mooney. It is said that children get more money in this business, but nowadays people have become so poor that they do not even give alms to children. These people were not earning well. I had taken a house to keep them, and cooking food for so many children was not an easy task. Although they did not eat food on their own, they quietly ate whatever food I gave them, but still I had to cook food. My expenses were high and income was very low. I was very worried about what would happen, and how would it happen. It seemed that I would have to leave this business, but then where would I take those children? Would I sell them? But I did not want to do that either. I also had a heart in my chest. I did not have any children. It is not that I considered those children as my children. If that was the case, I would not have made them do such bad work. But whatever it was, this was my business, and for a person, his business is everything for him. I also wanted to get married, but no woman can marry an empty person. Nowadays, women also have a lot of expenses. I was sitting very worried. The children were bringing their earnings in the evening and putting them in a box. I was hearing the sound of coins falling again and again. I kept thinking, what happens with coins these days? No one had got any notes. When that girl named Mooney came forward and put her bowl in the box, there was no sound of coins either. I was sitting far away, and I was holding my head thinking, what has happened? This girl has come with absolutely empty hands. She will cause me a lot of loss. I went to her and said, "You turned out to be a complete loser. Your face is so innocent that everyone will be ready to give you money. What an innocent face you have made. You have not brought even a single rupee. You should be ashamed. Look at the other children. If you work like this, I will stop giving you food and drink. Then you will have to lie on one side hungry and thirsty." I used to threaten other children in the same way, so that they would get scared by my threats. When a child standing near me said, "Sir, why are you scolding her? Just look at her box once. She has brought the most money." I was surprised to hear that child and immediately went forward and looked at her box. It was full of notes, which were returned from Mooney's box. I looked at her in surprise and told her that you have done a great job. I was very happy to see all this. I put my hand on her head out of happiness, but she did not even smile at me. There was a strange sadness in her eyes. She did not speak at all. It seemed as if she wanted to say something. Otherwise, she used to talk a little through gestures and just kept looking at everyone with wide open eyes. Because of her dumbness and seeing her innocence, I wanted to bring her into my business. I thought that everyone would give money to such a crying face, and perhaps my guess was absolutely correct. I told the other children that she also went to the same place where you people go. Then how did she earn so much money? And you people came back only with coins. All the children stood with their heads bowed. 2-3 days passed like this. Mooney used to come to me with lots of money every day, and I used to scold all the other children that if she brings so much money, then why doesn't anyone give money to you people? The road on which all the children used to go was the same road. It was the main road where more vehicles and crowd used to pass. That road was also called Mall Road. Mostly rich people used to pass on that road, so they used to give more money. Then a child told me that she does not beg anywhere. She goes with us, and after that, she disappears somewhere. We do not know where she goes, and when it is time for us to return, she suddenly comes back, and she has a lot of money with her. I was surprised to hear this. I said that, how can this be possible if she does not beg? Then from where does she get so much money? Does she go to her family and take it from them? But it is clear that she had no one in this world. But the condition in which I found her, it was evident that she was an orphan, and when I asked her if she had parents, even then she refused by gesturing, and told me that she had no one. She is all alone. I did not believe that child at all. I thought that he is lying. Maybe he is saying this because he is not able to earn as much money as Mooney. But the thing was really strange. She used to bring more money than the other children. One day, I asked her, "Where do you go?" She did not answer. I said angrily that you also go where all the other children go, right? Or do you go somewhere else? The place about which no one knows. She just shook her head and said no in response to this. This meant that she also used to go to the same place where all the other children went. I used to think that this girl cannot speak. Maybe that is why she gets more money. But then I saw her playing with other children. She could hear and could also talk in gestures, which means that she is dumb, but can explain her things to others through gestures. It was about to be a week since she had come, and she was bringing the most amount of money. These days, no child brings so much money, so I was quite surprised, and started thinking that I should follow her to find out what she does. A lot of things were coming to my mind. Such things were coming, which perhaps I should not have thought. But what could I do? Our world is like this, and I had heard and seen worse stories than this, so I was thinking in a different way. I was planning to follow him the very next day, and when I tried to follow him, suddenly the landlord came and stopped me and said that you have not paid the rent for 3 months. First of all, you do this kind of thing, and on top of that, you also delay paying the rent. If I tell the police that all this is happening here, then think what will happen to you. It is true that you did not kidnap these children, but if it is told to the police that you kidnapped children, then I don't know how many years you would have to spend in jail. And anyway, who will convince the police that you do not kidnap the children? The police will file a case against you of child kidnapping. I was surprised that nowadays every person has become a devil in his own place. Now what could I say to that landlord? I told him that it is okay. I gave him whatever money I had in my pocket and said that I will give the rest of the money too, but do not threaten me like this again. When I handed him the money, his attitude changed. He said that, "Raju Bhaiya, do not worry at all. No one will know anything." Saying this, he went away. I wanted to follow Mooney, but could not go, and something happened at night that I was surprised. When she returned her box, there were a lot of 500 rupee notes inside it. I was surprised. The surprising thing was that no child had got so much money as Mooney had brought. This girl was dumb. I thought that maybe the people who give alms have also become blind. I asked her that, "From where did you get so much money? Who gave it to you?" She stood quietly and kept listening to me. I asked her again that, "Who gave you so much money? Who gives you so much money?" I put all the money in her hand and asked her if she knew who gave her the money. She shook her head as if she had no idea how she got the money. She stood there, scared, and put the money back in the box. I asked her what she was doing. Where did she go? If there is a place where people give more money, then take the other children there too. To satisfy myself, I asked her again, "Where do you go? You go to the same place where these kids go, right?" She nodded her head and said yes. It meant that she goes with those kids, but the kid who had told me about her was still nodding his head. I took that kid alone and asked him. He told me that she is lying. She goes somewhere else and brings so much money from there, and we don't know where she goes? I also thought that Mooney is lying. Now there was only one way to follow her, and right now I was happy that apart from the 500 rupee note, Mooney had earned a total of 25,000 rupees today, which I had given to the landlord. Understand that they had also come to me, and some money was also saved. This girl was very useful. Whatever she was doing, she was earning a lot of money, but it was also important for me to know about her so that I could know what kind of work she was doing. The next day, I decided to follow her. She had gone out with all the children, but suddenly disappeared. I also started following her. I did not let her know that I was also following her. She just kept walking. It seemed as if she knew all the routes, and she, such a small girl, was not going on the wrong path at all. From there, she went to an open area where there were 2-3 houses nearby. Some houses had backsides, and some houses had main doors. There was also a tree planted here. It was a small park, but no one came to this place because the condition of this place was very bad. She went and sat under that tree and started showing such tricks that after a while people started giving her money. I was standing there and watching everything from a distance. People themselves were coming towards her and giving her money. What was she doing? I was not able to understand anything. Sometimes she would dance, sometimes she would show some tricks. What was she doing? All this was beyond my understanding, but still people were happily giving her money and leaving. She was doing all this with such innocence that people were impressed by her and giving her money. Perhaps the talent she had was not there in other children. That is why she earned more money than other children. I was not able to understand what kind of dance she was doing and what tricks she was showing. I was trying to understand and was watching her carefully so that I could also learn all these things from her. She was not saying anything. She was just doing whatever came to her mind with her eyes closed. Seeing her tricks, whoever was passing by started laughing with joy, and everyone was ready to be kind to her. There was a huge crowd there. People would come and put a lot of money in her box and go away. Whatever this girl was doing, I thought that I will do the same and teach the same to other children so that they can also bring a lot of money like her. After that, she got tired, so after a while, she hugged her box to her chest and lay down under the same tree and slept. Now I know what she was doing. Obviously, when she had made all the money, what was the need for her to work more? While the other children used to work from 9 in the morning till 10 at night, but her work was done, so this queen started resting here under the tree. I had put down everything in my mind that what she did because I also had to try all this. Just that when I go to do all this myself, I should remember everything that, what all she did here near this tree, due to which the crowd got impressed by her. Ever since I started this business, I did not go anywhere, because if people came to know that I am behind all this, then someone would have handed me over to the police. Even now, there are many people in this world who tell me that you are doing a very bad job. You make small innocent children beg and eat their earnings. Yes. Okay. I used to do bad things, but what else could I do? I was very fed up with my life. I had no means of earning. I had no other way. I also wanted to become a good person, but could not become one because when my exams were being conducted, I pointed out the mistake of my teacher to him. I said that you are doing wrong. You are beating that child like an animal. This is wrong. He is a child, and children keep making mistakes, but it does not mean that you beat him like an animal. But that teacher kept after me. He failed me. I tried to study again, but that teacher left no stone unturned to make me fail again. In this way, my life was ruined. My parents had left me in my childhood itself. I did not have any relative who could keep me with him. I was lonely since childhood. No one supported me. Sometimes I used to look at children and say that they beg despite being so strong. I don't know who is behind them, who makes them beg. And today I was also a bad man standing behind them. But I did not regret my actions because I also had to stay alive, or else I would have died of hunger. I was very fond of getting married, but I wanted to build my own house and earn some money so that I could keep my wife happy, because anyone knows that money is needed to keep a woman happy, and girls of today need money only. They want that all their work should be completed, and all the things they need should be given to them on time, like clothes, shoes, etc. If you don't give them the things they need, then your house becomes hell. One can be happy with a woman only when we also keep the woman happy, and for all this, I needed money. I had also saved some money. I had another friend who was also involved in the same work that I used to do. He said that when you don't need these children and you want to do some other work, then give these children to me. He had more children than me, but he was very cruel. He used to torture those children a lot. He used to beat them too. He did not even give them good food and had put a lot of restrictions in the house. He used to make them work even at night. I also thought that I will start some other work and give these children to him. I will get a good amount of money in exchange for the children. All these were my future plans, but right now the feats of that girl were going on in my mind. I had kept everything that she did in my mind. I searched on the internet as to what feats she was performing, but the internet also did not catch her feat, and I was also not able to understand anything. I kept thinking about this all night, and then came to the conclusion that if people give her a lot of money for doing this, then I myself will also have to do this work. I followed her again the next day. This time I kept an eye on the people. The people who were giving her money and leaving. Their faces looked as if they were doing this work very happily. They had no problem in giving her money. People were giving her thousands of rupees and leaving. Otherwise, no one gives more than 100 or 50 rupees to a fakir. Nowadays, at least someone gives 200 or 250 rupees, but here the matter had reached thousands, so there was definitely something to think about. I followed Muni for 3 to 4 days, and for 3 to 4 days I saw what was happening. I did not go out of the house so often, but I had to take the risk because I had to find out what was going on. One day I told her that you will not go to work today. Hearing this, she got a little upset, and tears came in her eyes, and the other children started going, but she also started following those children on my refusal. I stopped her and said that, I have forbidden you that you will not go to work today. Then why are you following these children? Maybe she wanted to follow those children. I said that today you take rest and sit in your house. All the other children had gone. She was very restless and was looking towards the door again and again. She felt like going behind them. She stood at the door for a long time. I told her that you have not gone inside till now. You should be happy. Today you will not have to work. Just do the household chores. Keep the house clean. Cook food anyway. You just take rest. I had also kept a woman to cook food because the children were not able to cook. I had mostly young children with me. She again started looking at me with surprise and started pointing towards the door, which meant that she should leave. I looked at her angrily and scolded her a lot. You don't understand. You don't know whose rule prevails here. Here, without my permission, no one can take a step inside the house or outside the house. Whatever I want happens here. But you are not able to understand. I'm explaining to you very lovingly. Go inside quietly. I have told you that you will not go to work today. She was very scared by my words. I tried to take her tiffin from her hand, but she was not giving me her tiffin. I scolded her again. If you do not listen to me, then you will be punished. Today, you will not get anything to eat. I will lock you in the room and leave. Only after this, she got scared and she gave me her tiffin, and then I came out of the house and started going to the place where she used to go. I was thinking on the way that she was not giving me her tiffin, and she also wanted to go to work even today. She looks very innocent, but she has more intelligence than required. Anyway, whatever work she did was done because of intelligence. Otherwise, other children did not do anything like this. I again tried to remember everything that she used to do, so that I do not forget it after going there. I was also going to the same place where Muni used to go and sit. I had thought that today I will also earn a lot of money and become rich. Many of my problems will be solved with this money. I went and sat at the place where Muni was sitting under the tree. At first, no one was visible around me. Then I suddenly stood up and started doing the work that Muni used to do. I had to bring some innocence on my face because Muni has a lot of innocence on her face. Now I was going to start my work. I started moving my hands and legs in the same way as Mooney used to, and closed my eyes. I was dancing just like Mooney used to dance. I had kept my box on the ground so that people come and put money in it and go away, and I was continuously lost in my work. Suddenly I saw some movement around me, but I did not open my eyes, because Mooney also did not open her eyes. I started feeling as if people have started putting money in my box. I was feeling happy in my heart, and I understood that people have started putting money. I had this in my heart that I will also come here every day, like this, and take a lot of money, so that I can accumulate a lot of money, and I will teach the same work to all the other children. They will also do this work, and after some days I will become a millionaire. I was very happy in my heart, and all this was going on, but suddenly I felt as if a lot of people were standing around me, but after putting money, they should have gone back from there. What were they doing here? Then I stopped. As soon as I opened my eyes, they caught me. They were none other than the policemen. They said that we have caught you with great difficulty. Today you came out of your hole, otherwise you would never have come out, and today you are alone. You do not have any companion with you. Come with us now. I got very scared, and they took me to the police station. There I came to know something that shocked me. I was shocked. Actually, this Mooney was a spy sent by them. She was not dumb at all, she could speak anything. They had put up this donation to get me caught. They themselves used to give her money. All those people who used to give money to Mooney daily were in cahoots with the police. This entire plan was made to catch me. They filed a complaint against me that I was making the children do all this work. This girl was sent to surround me because, as I told you, I never used to come out of my house. And even if I used to come out, I used to do it in such a way that no one could recognize me. But in all this, I got greedy and came out of my house. That too alone. My stupidity was that I sat at the place where they wanted me to sit, because CCTV cameras were installed near here, and the backside of the police station was also there. But I could not recognize them. My eyes were blindfolded by greed, so I was badly trapped. That girl was not dumb. She could speak anything. I should have understood that time when she used to come here alone from such a far distance. That girl was very clever, but due to her innocence, I could never guess her cleverness. I thought that maybe she comes here daily, and hence she must have remembered the way, but now that girl was standing in front of me and smiling. The police took all the children in their custody, and the effort to reunite those children with their parents had started, because I had lied that I had found those children on the streets. This was not true at all. I had found only 1 or 2 children on the street. I had kidnapped all the rest of the children, and I had bought some children from here and there. I was a bad person, and bad things happened to me. The police caught me and took me away, and the statements of the children were also recorded. Now I also did not know what was going to happen to me, but nothing good was going to happen. All the people who were involved in these activities with me, all my friends were arrested, and the police took their children in their custody. It was found out that the acts that the girl used to do were actually nothing. That girl used to dance in a weird way, due to which I used to think that people get impressed and give her money, but the real thing was that the girl did nothing. All this was just a part of a plan to fool me. All this was done to make me stupid and crazy, so that I could come in the clutches of those people. And I got trapped in their trick due to greed. It was found out that the girl was none other than the daughter of a policeman. My mind was blown. This policeman had made his daughter so brave that he sent her to do such work in her childhood itself. He did not even think that his daughter's life could also be in danger. That policeman himself was also a brave person, but today, because of his daughter, so many children were reunited with their parents. I realized my mistake. I spent a lot of time in jail. Then I asked for forgiveness and said that I would never do this again. Some years of my life were wasted, but when I came out of jail, I gave up doing such things. Today I have a small business and I also have a wife, but we are still not having any children. I don't want to say this, but my heart says that perhaps God will not be able to bless me with the happiness of having children because I separated many children from their parents. I had to be punished for that, and I will never have any children of my own. I used to pray to God day and night that I want to get the happiness of my children while I am alive, but till now, nothing like this is happening. We think that we will commit a crime quietly, and we will not get any punishment, but it is not so. Some people even say that the punishment will be given in the next birth. Then we will go there and see, but they do not understand that we get the punishment for some sins in this world, and it is very bad. The same thing has happened with me. I have now become a very good and honest person, and have started hating those people who make poor innocent children beg. Sometimes, while walking on the road, I see a child who is begging. I feel very sorry for them. I am not so rich that I can keep them in my house, but I leave them in an orphanage with great love, and sometimes take food or small gifts for them there. I have forgiven my crime from my heart. Children are God's gift. The real life of children is their childhood, which they live to the fullest, play and jump. After growing up, the same children start handling their responsibilities, and then they are no longer children. Then they grow up and become like you and me. Children are delicate like flowers. I would like to request all of you to never let these flowers wither.